We're here, finally, after a few years. We've been away, we did the pandemic, we were online. Welcome to Pitch360. Good afternoon, and thank you to Sasha Kadri very much for that introduction and for hosting. My name is Yael Simon. I am the principal of Ara Cura Consulting, and it is absolutely my privilege to host this grand finale of this year's Innovate Finance Global Summit, the Pitch360 event. I know you've wrapped up 2 amazing days, and now we're going to turn our attention to all the possibilities that lie in the pitches you're about to hear. One quick word about me. I'm a strategist and innovative funding expert, and I founded a startup in financial intelligence. I serve as an advisor to ultra-high net worth individuals and private family offices with a focus on philanthropy, climate finance, AI and ethics, money laundering, and terror financing, anti-money laundering, counter-terror financing. So please come and speak to me. I'd love to hear about your work. Okay, folks, this is the X Factor of IFGS. The prom king and queen will be crowned. It's the Grand Prix and the final race at Ascot of the fintech world. As Steve Jobs once said, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. So I ask you, which one are you? Each startup you'll see today is going to carry a potential of fundamentally altering our relationship with money. There are visionaries here who represent the cutting edge of fintech, offering solutions that promise not just to enhance and revolutionize how we engage with financial systems, but also empower societal change. As we finish this summit here, I want you all to focus on the transformative impact of innovation that has the power to democratize, diversify, and deepen our financial interactions. In a world where finance touches every single aspect of our lives, the ideas you're going to hear today have the capacity to influence economies, uplift communities, and promote a more inclusive approach to financial services. As someone who is deeply invested in ethical financial intelligence, I am particularly excited to look at how these emerging technologies can foster not only growth, but also greater equity in access to finance. So I want to thank you all for joining IFGS 2024, this Pitch360 event, and as we consider the future of finance and the pitches you're going to hear today, I want you to remember that this is the next era of financial engagement and empowerment. So I want you to all embrace the innovative perspectives, and now we are going to introduce our judges. Okay, as I do, I'm going to all ask them to answer one question. What is the one thing you want us to remember you for? So let's introduce Phoebe Kitchen, the investor at Inovia, Joshua Kaplan, corporate partner at Wilson Sonsini, Jamie Campbell, head of VC at 11FS, Kevin Chong, co-founder and general partner at Outward VC, and Bill Kenny, founder and client advocate at Meet. So let's just quickly go to Phoebe. Phoebe, what is the one thing we are going to remember you for?
So I'm the Brit who works for a Canadian firm. I'm going to go for more of a character. So I think, hopefully remember me for being curious, being generous, and also having a passion about fintech.
Love it. Josh.
Helping companies solve problems and execute on opportunities.
All right, we will come to you. Jamie.
Accidentally got involved in fintech and now can't leave.
All right. Great things happen with accidents. Okay. Kevin. Oh, no, where's Kevin? Okay, Kevin? You're sitting in the wrong order. Okay.
Well, because you've given me no time at all to prepare for this question, I'm going to go for...
On your feet, on your feet.
I'm going to go for, I like watching submarine movies. Any movies that's got submarines in them. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Bill.
I'll continue the water theme. I live and work on a sailboat. So.
The man lives and works on the
Mic
boat.
drop.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to describe to you very quickly this format and how it works. And it's a good thing I'm not holding a phone because, you know, I need 2 hands to talk. So this is a pitch. It's like an X Factor. Here are our judges. Every contestant is going to get up. Every finalist is going to get up. And this is a short list of a long, long line of very eligible potential finalists. And they're going to have exactly 3 minutes. And when I say exactly, if not, I come up, I rattle them, I tap dance, we cut them off. And then 2 minutes for each judge, well, the judges in general, to give feedback. At the end of that entire round, the judges are going to go away and deliberate, and then there'll be a very big QR code up here, hopefully not as big as my face. There'll be a very big QR code, which you'll all hopefully scan, and the people have their chance to vote. So there'll be the judges' vote and the people's vote. So everybody understand? Any questions? That's the overview. Shall we get started? Let's get started. Okay. Right. We are going to call out the first pitch. Cloud FO is a financial management solution for businesses powered by AI. Please welcome their co-founder, Afia Chahodo. Okay.
Hi, I'm Afia, and I'm co-founder of Cloud FO. I'm excited to be here to pitch today, but less excited as a consumer when my favorite brands and shops go out of businesses. Good companies, but they fail to be great due to poor financial management often. But even the large enterprises, fintechs, and financial institutions that myself and my co-founders have worked for have to deploy teams of experts to manage the numbers. So what makes this difficult? Well, for founders, they're wearing multiple hats. They're not necessarily a finance expert or a data SQL whiz, and have to find access to capital, which is difficult, and so often are fearful of running out of cash. 39% of SMEs don't budget at all and are therefore at risk for the future. But those that are lucky and grow to be enterprises can just pass these problems along to their finance leaders. The global financial software market is worth $200 billion, but 20% of the working week is lost looking for the right information across these various tools. So now when budgets do happen, 77 days on average it takes to complete them. Finance teams today are being tasked with strategic growth and reporting on the numbers. But what if those teams are made up of both humans and AI, with your AI coworker responsible for budgets, reports, and analysis? Just like the best professionals you've worked with, Cloud FO is proactive, reliable, and capable of independent working. It automates financial tasks, aggregates data from various sources, and provides you with real-time insights to help you make informed decisions. It is onboarded onto your team by connecting to your business bank accounts through an FCA-secured connection, and provides you with transactions categorized and gives you KPIs without you needing to be a data scientist. You can forget about looking for the right information. It will provide you updates if anything changes and give you strategic recommendations. So budgets don't need to take months, and month-end reports can be done in seconds. So we're an early-stage company, and we're piloting this MVP with 7 pilot customers, and I'm about to show you some interactions they're having with this colleague, like period-on-period reporting, or deep dive analysis with e-commerce businesses, looking at average order value and their top customers compared to the rest of the cohort, or common questions from founders like, how much should I put aside for VAT? Or what's the key terms in a VC term sheet? Up next is what the finance leaders are asking for, so automatic month-end reports, budgets, anomaly detection. We are backed by the founders and investors of Onfido, the latest UK fintech to exit, and where I previously worked. So if you'd like to give Cloud FO a try, I'd love to hear from you, or interested in being on our cap table, please do reach out. Any other questions, I'd love to answer.
Well done. Okay, judges, over to you.
Ooh, I think as you were walking through, I think there's such a need for this product. As you said, a lot of CFOs really struggle with the fragmentation of processes. They're often very manual. Can you there was a bit of a hint on the presentation, but walk through why you see your technologies being the right tool to solve this, particularly from an AI perspective versus some of the other competitors who are out there at the moment?
Yeah, I think a lot of what's out there at the moment are very much tool-based, and they're very much targeting the accounting space and experts. So there's one side of things for helping accountants, and there's another thing for helping data scientists. And what happens is actually your FP&A team works between all these tools, exporting CSVs, and actually just getting to the answer and the numbers, and spending less time on the value-add work in terms of like performance management, tracking, and like providing a strategy. Last week, we did a workshop and a series with some CFOs, and they said, well, this actually enables our team's work to be less robotic. We can get accountant teams be moved more towards FP&A and FP&A teams to be more proactive in performance management. So it's literally having a teammate as opposed to a tool you have to be an expert to use.
Can you talk about your sales or your kind of proof of traction?
Yeah, so as mentioned, we're an early stage company, so we're actually still building. This is our MVP, and we have 7 pilot customers. Some of them are e-commerce businesses, because that's actually where our hypothesis started, that we could target high-growth e-commerce businesses that don't have a huge data team or a huge finance team. But what we've learned in this MVP period is that finance leaders also want to try it. So we're working with some Series A finance leaders as well, who've just raised money, don't have a huge team, but high growth, want to be AI first.
10 seconds
So
left. Does that mean you've got revenue or 0 revenue?
we're pre-revenue at the moment, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good luck. What an impressive first start. Okay, Kogo is a green fintech business that specializes in creating personalized carbon footprints for individuals and small businesses. Please welcome Emma Kisby, their CEO and EMEA region.
Hello, I'm Emma. So Kogo is a green fintech. We specialize in carbon management solutions to accelerate transition to net zero. So let's talk about net zero. There are multiple problems. So we know individuals want to take action, but the reality is no one knows where to start. 88% of consumers are looking to businesses for support to reduce their carbon footprints. And when it comes to small businesses, only actually 10% have actually measured their carbon footprint, and yet nearly half have committed to carbon reductions. And when you look at financial institutions, increasing regulatory pressures on them to report, there's risk around financed emissions, and equally, there's a massive opportunity for them to support their retail customers and their SMEs to transition to net zero with relevant products and services to support climate actions. So there's a lot to unpack there, but where do you start? That's where Kogo comes in. Kogo's solutions are designed to empower and support millions of individuals and small businesses to firstly measure their carbon footprints. And we do this by marrying payment information with carbon emissions data to create real-time, personalized carbon footprints. But we also motivate users. We use behavioral science and analytics to identify carbon hotspots and to create personalized nudges and recommendations to reduce their carbon emissions. And finally, we mobilize customers. We identify barriers to affordability and accessibility, and we're able to work with financial institutions and corporates to embed products and services to facilitate climate action and accelerate to net zero. In the last 4 years, we've become the market leader. We've got the privilege of working with over 18 banks worldwide. We've got a cumulative reach of 30 million customers across 7 countries, and our feature is live in Hungarian, in Dutch, and Chinese, as well as English. And in the last couple of years, we've been doing this for a while, but in the last couple of years, carbon calculators have become pretty mainstream. There are now over 100 million customers globally who have access to carbon insights. But the reason Kogo stands out is our ability to fully integrate our features into our partners' mobile banking experiences. And you can see them live happening here. What that means is we meet retail customers and SMEs where they are, as opposed to pushing them off to independent tools and portals. But the other thing is we have the stats to prove it, and this sets us aside from our competitors. We've been able to prove scale adoption for our partners, meaningful engagement, but most importantly, we've been able to quantify the impact in terms of reduction of carbon emissions. And actually, you can see the stats here. But last month, NatWest published their climate report and publicly stated there are now nearly 1 million of their customers accessing and engaging with the carbon tracker, which is powered by Kogo. So our partners stand behind these stats. We've got an amazing team. We combine carbon modeling, behavioral science, and commercial acumen. But the thing that sets our team aside is our combined passion for scale and impact.
Thank you.
Oh, we're on a mission to become the world's first fintech gigacorn.
Thank you. Judges, over to you. By the way, I just want to say, really great presentation. Thank you. Judges, over to you.
A quick question on pricing. What's the revenue model? Is it subscription or transaction-based?
We have an API model which is based on a license model. We license the data and the tech.
And then if you could just speak quickly to this difference between commitments and compliance. So you mentioned some of your clients are motivated by regulation, some are motivated by commitments that they've made on their own. How does that break down?
It differs by market and differs by banks. I think some banks like NatWest, very kind of quick out the gate, and Alison Rose are very aspirational in terms of leading the charge on that. So some wanted to get ahead and differentiate versus the market. Other are being driven by certain regulations, and we're seeing that more in UK and Europe. Certainly in terms of APAC, we're seeing focus on that. But it really depends. There's different motivations, but the regulations are pushing everyone along.
Thanks for that presentation. Very impressive set of logos. What's a typical sales cycle? I mean, how long did it take you to win these clients?
Yeah, very good question. I think the prizes are big, but the time is intensive. So it can be anywhere between 5 and 9 months. And I think it really depends on whether we're new to market, whether we're established in market, and the confidence of both the banks and the consumers to take action. So some of the more mature markets where carbon capture is very commonplace, it's much quicker because other people have seen people do it. In newer markets, early adopters, it can be slower.
Thank you.
We have another 30 seconds. Any other questions?
I mean, maybe just a follow-up question on that. I mean,
Yeah, but now you've got 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So, okay. Your deliberation took 10 seconds, okay?
I mean, who do you speak to in these organizations, and what budget does this come out of?
Really good question. It's a mix. I mean, we're typically brought in, well, originally we used to be brought in by the strategy innovation team, looking for new innovations. We typically often engage with the sustainability team, looking for support to quantify the impact. But usually the budget is digital propositions.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Can you just tell nobody's going to be my friend after this? Okay. Also, so many stairs all the time, so many steps. Okay, Credit Canary is a real-time decision-making platform that accurately identifies changing financial behaviors. Come on down, CEO and founder, Jim Fell.
For banks and lenders, the ongoing pressure of the cost of living crisis remains solely front of mind. The Bank of England just recently predict that the credit defaults are going to reach 2009 levels, and it's only going to get worse. Problem debt is a real challenge. When it comes to the UK, 30 million people are indebted. 7 million are in financial difficulty, and it's not going to change soon. But when we come to consideration consumer credit, there is a real lend and forget challenge. Traditional lending practices are highly reactive. They force lenders to pick up the pieces only when customers have gone south. We've built our product in collaboration with lenders, so we know that it works, and we're using real data to achieve that, not synthetic data. Credit Canary offers a proactive credit monitoring platform that allows consumer credit lenders to proactively make decisions throughout the loan term. We combine a combination of open banking, credit, tax, and lending performance to give a single customer view for a customer. We then validate and enrich this data to provide unrivaled credit analytics, which ultimately serve proactive models and predictive models that give the context to provide the next best action for lending. Since we've launched as an organization and we raised our pre-seed round last year, we've gone on to great things, and we're just getting started. We're revenue generating and onboarded 2 active clients. We've identified technology partnerships as a key driver for our growth and have just onboarded our second partner in Quito, who have been a fantastic driver for our growth, and we're actively pursuing more technology partnerships to boot. We've proven our impact of what we can do within consumer lending, publishing a case study alongside any First Credit Union and CFIT, which showed that we can double collection rates, and we can also manually drive down manual review times 9-fold. In addition to this, we've got 5 lenders in the wings ready to go, and we've got much bigger pilots which we're lining up, and we've got a really strong pipeline to boot. In addition to this, we've achieved significant industry recognition. We're backed by an amazing set of investors that have a strong pedigree within fintech, and we've been selected for the world's leading accelerators. As a team, we provide and have the perfect blend of consumer credit, AI, data science, and machine learning. We've deep experience with driving success within these type of businesses and driving proof and scale. What we intend to do now is really kind of use this as a leapfrog to grow our team sustainably and then use it as a basis for moving forward.
Jim, amazing. And you even got a gong, or as my teenagers would say, please leave me alone. Okay, judges.
Thank you for that. How does this integrate into the existing workflows of the credit providers? Can you just give us a little bit more flavor on that?
Yeah, so effectively we sit on the front end between the front end data coming through and what's being captured. Data's passed to us, we make decisions throughout the loan term, and then we pass that along to like the core banking platform. Technology partnerships have been instrumental in like unlocking significant opportunities in that we've been able to switch on new lenders just with a click of a button and not go through the direct kind of onboarding that you would find if for us to have a direct relationship.
Sorry, and just to follow on, I guess, do your customers find, what do your customers find most valuable about that service? Because I saw that there was a lot of pre-application and post-application, and I wonder what's the sweet spot that you're hearing most from your customers?
Yeah, so when we initially set out, the hypothesis that we were pushing for was the pre-arrears space. But actually, when we got into lenders, what we found is that there was a massive unserved market within the underwriting space, particularly at the lower end of the consumer credit market. Data science, principles weren't widely kind of used. So what we've done is, and where we're seeing value, is helping them at the front end drive down manual review times, helping them triage their applications better, helping them get to customers like quicker, and ultimately allowing them to say yes to more people.
In 22 seconds, can you tell us about your next major milestone?
So our next major milestone is for this year is to have onboarded 4 technology partners. We have 2 in play and we have 2 lined up. And what we're looking to do as part of that milestone is for those technology partners to onboard providers that can have larger lenders and take us out of credit unions and take us to the moon.
Thank you. Okay, gong. I feel like Jim will never be late for dinner. Okay, Engage Smarter provides AI-led guidance to customers, enabling them to increase overall financial efficacy. Why is my voice suddenly so large? We're joined by the founder, come on down, Matt Gosden.
Hello, everyone. Let me move on the slides. Yeah, so at Engage Smarter, our product is a platform of expert AI agents that power financial guidance and also technical customer service. So we're a B2B enterprise SaaS business and aim to be plugged really into financial service companies so they can help their customers make better decisions around the products they're using and serve them better. We're an early stage startup. We're currently doing a seed round. We started last year. We launched the product early in the year. We got 3 revenue paying clients so far. So our mission's really all about closing the financial guidance gap. So that's not news to anyone. It's huge, obviously. On the one side, you've got the fact that financial advice is only really affordable by the wealthiest segment. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got the fact that financial services firms can't really afford to pay for expert humans to provide that guidance and service to everyone out there in the marketplace. So AI can actually do this now, and that's really what we've been building. So it can obviously do that at a much lower cost than human experts. So with our platform, it's about an 80 to 90% cost reduction. But perhaps more surprisingly for people, actually the accuracy of the conversations is already looking better than humans, than most of the humans that do these jobs as well, which doesn't bode well for us, does it? But anyway, I think it's really important because in financial services, explainability and accuracy is king here. You can't get away with hallucinations and strange things like that. So our architecture is very different from the black boxes. It's very transparent. It's got very modular. We use a lot of our own proprietary content, a lot of calculators, a lot of guardrails, and so on to make it very transparent under the hood. And when you do that, you also find you actually get much better accuracy too. So on the right there, you can see the results from one of our pension studies where the pensions agents are already much more accurate than typical human agents answering questions as well. So there's a lot of potential here. I think this is one of the reasons we're getting quite a bit of traction at the moment. And I think the other thing is we've just got a great team. Of the team, 3 of us are former executives from the insurance and the wealth space and have been in the startup space before. And of the team, 2 of us actually write a lot of code where we're hands-on engineers and data scientists as well, sort of putting the AI together. So we bring both sides of it together. So that's us. We're out doing a seed raise at the moment. We've got a number of angels committed at the moment. And obviously, if anyone's interested, then come and find me. Thanks.
Okay, you're already in my good books. You've got 17 seconds to spare. And who doesn't want to hear we've got angels committed? It sounds so religious. Okay, over to you, judges.
Thanks a lot for going through that. I think a quick one from me. In your product today, as you mentioned, a lot of the proprietary bases in your own content that you created. How much of the traction that you're getting with current customers is on your sort of AI and your initial product versus maybe like a white label to use the underlying infrastructure to already integrate into their own systems?
So by white label, you mean like other systems that they can use, like from the tech firm? Okay, yeah. So a lot of these firms do want to use some of these sort of Microsoft systems, but we do something different to them. We actually got these pre-built agents that give them a huge leg up. So they've already got content inside, they've already been assured, and that just means they can actually move very quickly compared to, say, using Microsoft or IBM Watson and things like that that are out in the marketplace.
And then just a quick follow-up from me. It would be great if you could sort of go through quickly your sales cycle getting into some of these larger customers.
Yeah, well, it's enterprise B2B, so it's long, unfortunately. So, procurement's quite long. We're in the start of the procurement processes for 2 of those revenue-paying clients now, and they last a long time because they're tech procurement. And we start with the business. They're usually the head of the business because we're from the industry, a lot of the CEOs and so on, and they're the buyers at the end of the day. And they see a big potential for it for customers. So and then it's often into a POC type of thing and internal testing. Because before you go live with customers, they want to test it themselves internally and kick the tires, or red team it, and all that sort of stuff. So there's a whole process we've got laid out. It takes a while, but that's also revenue generating that process and leads towards the end goal.
I know there's no time left, but just as the lawyer, is there any friction from the regulators on this product?
Not yet, no, but we're not a regulated entity. We're providing software to the firms. But yes, there's obviously the accuracy works needs to be looked at.
Great, thank you so much. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
If you ever need Matt to say a brief few words, call him, very brief. Okay, next is Finexos, provides credit analysis to banks and lenders, strengthening credit decisions and access to finance. Please welcome their executive director to the stage, Stephen Bone.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stephen Bone, co-founder of Finexos. In the UK alone, 7 million people risk being excluded from financial services and accessing affordable credit. Financial access facilitates day-to-day life. Living helps families and businesses plan for everything from long-term goals to everyday emergencies. It powers our lives, our economy, our society. Without access to affordable credit, we can't buy a home, a car, or grow a small business. Financial services need to be inclusive, fair, and affordable for everyone. We've never had so much financial data at our fingertips, and Finexos uses that. While credit scores are a historic ledger of repayment, Finexos has designed a range of real-time risk metrics to enhance credit decisioning. We provide a retrospective, current, and future view of a borrower's ability to manage money through our advanced data science and AI-powered platform that we call Fiola. We can help any lender reduce their risk of default by analyzing how a borrower manages their money and prioritizes the repayment of credit and other essential outgoings. From the multiple data sources that Fiala is capable of processing, it can analyze hundreds of additional key risk factors and provide real-time affordability and vulnerability analysis to better identify the likelihood of repayment. And it's worth emphasizing that the system does not accept PII or use it, therefore removing unwanted bias. And so Finexos is a range of products and services that can help financial institutions price risk more effectively, significantly improve operating metrics, and help to increase financial inclusion, drive social mobility, and stimulate economic growth for the benefit of our society. We're already engaged. Finexos has demonstrated outstanding results in identifying, at the point of origination, loans which subsequently defaulted. We also significantly reduce costs for lenders, enhance regulatory compliance, and dramatically speed up decisions for borrowers. We're engaged with banks, lenders, and financial institutions in the UK, North America, Latin America, Europe, and Australia. We're engaged with one of the big four accounting firms on a global basis, and are also in the FCA Digital Sandbox and Innovations Pathway. We've won numerous awards. Our team brings decades of world-class experience across financial services, credit, data science, and AI. And they're supported by a highly experienced board and advisory panel, including leading CEOs, former FCA, Bank of England, and IMF exec board members, together with serial entrepreneurs and exited unicorn founders.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Perfect. Judges.
Well, thank you very much for that. Could you just give us a little bit more flavor on, you mentioned, was it 72% reduction? Could you just give us a bit more flavor? Is that with live customers?
That was with data from the Digital Sandbox and the FCA, a business out in the States that subsequently went bust. So we were able to analyze the same information that they got at the point of origination using traditional credit scoring. And through our analytics, we were able to identify up to 72% of those loans that subsequently defaulted. Would have saved that institution $2.4 billion in lending capital. There's a white paper on it if anyone wants to read it.
Interesting. And is it purely on the retail lending, or is there SME lending?
That was on consumer lending. We do have an SME offering as well, where we can look at both the SME accounts and person of significant control and create a hybrid, particularly at the smaller end for that particular area of the market.
Anybody else?
You're clearly solving a very big problem, all right? Credit referencing, as it's done today, is very problematic. What aspect of the business are you most worried about? Like, what's the main challenge?
It's a great question. I think you have an oligopoly at the moment. The big four credit rating agencies have their arms around the data through the rules of reciprocity. We know that the regulator is starting to look at that to open up access to that data to businesses like Finexos, Credit Canary as well, I'm sure, whereby innovative fintechs can start to analyze more data. So I think the data is an issue, but the customers that we're working with are giving us the same data that they're providing to their traditional credit rating agencies, and they're seeing the results that we can deliver using our technology.
Just really quickly, and how much is it just showing them the data and they're buying it off of you, or is there a long sales cycle?
So, just to understand the question.
We're out of time.
We're out of time.
That's okay. We'll ask you later. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, thanks. 2019, I told my kids I was working in a RegTech sandbox. They were very confused. Okay, next up, we have Kestrel, which is a company that helps Muslims to grow their wealth through providing a Sharia-compliant open banking solution for consumers across the UK. We're joined by their CEO, Arib Siddiqui.
Hi, my name is Arib Siddiqui, and I'm here to let you into a little secret. What if I told you that every time I had to use one of these, I felt like I was doing something wrong? And it's a problem that's actually shared by over 5 million people in the UK, and 25 million people living and working in the West who, like me, identify as being Muslims. You see, the problem is that for a Muslim, interest is entirely forbidden. So doing something as simple as opening a savings account or taking out a mortgage is tantamount to committing a major sin. There are Islamic banks that do exist in this country, and you may be familiar with a few of the names behind me. However, they are notorious for having terrible UX, poor customer service, and much higher fees. So the vast majority of Muslims do not engage with them, instead opting for conventional solutions, compromising throughout their lives and what is in effect to us on our afterlives. And that is why we started Kestrel. Kestrel is on a mission to help Muslims to grow their wealth without having to compromise, be it on their beliefs or on price or on user experience. We did this by launching a consumer app in 2021. We are powered by open banking, which means customers could plug in whatever bank accounts they're currently using. We'll access their transactions, their spending history, their incomes, and we'll use that to create a personal financial plan tailored to them. Starting out with their budget to figure out how much they can and should be saving, putting that into action with goals linked to pots, linking them with Sharia-compliant savings and investment products, and Islamic-specific features like zakat calculation, figuring out 2.5% of someone's net wealth to go to charity, as well as screening different stocks and funds for Sharia compliancy. We launched this, and this was going well, and then something very interesting happened. Bank Islam, the largest Islamic bank in Malaysia, reached out to us, saying they liked what we were doing, could we white label it and actually give it to them to help them to power their own new digital bank? So naturally, we said yes. Kestrel is no longer just the Muslim money app. We're a service for any bank that would like to better serve their Muslim customers. Overall, we see a total addressable market of well over 700 million a year by focusing on this B2C market in the Western world and the B2B market in Muslim-majority countries. Thankfully, I haven't had to do this on my own. My own skills as a former management consultant specializing in fintech are backed up by my co-founding team, who specialized in Islamic banking, financial regulation, tech, and data science. So since launching our solution in 2021, we've come some way with quite a few active users per month on our consumer app in the UK, a couple of B2B clients now, we make significant annual recurring revenue, and a healthy active pipeline of banks. So that's Kestrel, and it's our ambition to one day power every Islamic bank in the world, to one day ensure that no one would ever have to choose between their faith and finances again. Thank you.
That was excellent. Thank you so much. Judges.
Happy to kick off. It would be great if you could walk through, I guess, in the medium term, where you see the most opportunity. As you mentioned, there are two sides to your business, a consumer app, and then also serving and your white label products with banks directly. Yeah. How are you allocating your resources based on those both of those opportunities?
So short to medium term, definitely B2B. There's a lot of opportunity in Saudi, Indonesia especially, where we're seeing a lot of investment by large banks into fintechs, partnerships as opposed to people building stuff out themselves. I think there is a big opportunity in the B2C space, particularly in two areas. One, on the home financing for Muslims. We're seeing a few rent-to-own schemes, which are inherently Sharia compliant, gaining popularity in the UK, as well as I think there's a real need for a FSCS-protected savings account for Muslims that can be accessed digitally, which doesn't exist in the UK today.
And on the B2B relationships that you have, you're deploying these integrations on premises. Is there challenges with that? Extended road timelines for integration or legacy?
So it varies geography by geography. So in Malaysia, we're on the cloud. We do everything via APIs on AWS. UAE and Saudi are still a little bit reticent. Google Cloud has just launched in Saudi, but for now, stuff is on-prem, so it is taking a little bit longer, which on top of the long lead times with B2B enterprise sales is a little bit painful, but we've got the runway to deal with it.
One last question? Quickly?
Cool.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was excellent. Thank you. So we're halfway through now, and I'm just going to use his last 10 seconds. We're halfway through, and I just want to thank everybody for being such an excellent audience, listening to all of the finalists. We've got a few more left, and if you can keep this attention and enthusiasm up, everybody will appreciate it very much. Do not leave, do not leave. Okay, next up is a company called Mob. I love this. The M is silent. Not all the M's, just one M. It's an embedded finance enabler working with service providers to integrate across multiple channels. Joining the stage, we have their founder and CEO, Irfan Khan.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Irfan Khan. I'm the founder and CEO of MMOB, a SaaS embedded finance technology company. I founded the business following a career leading large-scale technology programs for some of the largest financial institutions globally. This is my second fintech startup, having successfully exited my previous one 4 years ago. Too often, companies are failing to reap the benefits of embedded finance due to large integration costs and long timelines. MMOB's proprietary technology transforms API-based products, making them embeddable in a matter of hours. Our low-code solution removes the barriers to integration for companies that can take months and in some cases years to integrate their offerings. It removes the need for costly engineering costs and technical resources with our front-end UI composer and back-end API orchestration tools. It reduces integration timelines for partners with our simple snippet deployment. It removes the challenges of maintaining numerous integrations at once with a centralized dashboard of all embedded services. And most importantly, it can maintain compliance of highly regulated products deployed into third-party channels. We do all this by taking a service provider's API documentation, no matter how sophisticated. We then build a core journey on our platform, which sets the foundation to personalize for any service provider's partners. This can then be offered to those partners through a single snippet of code, embeddable within 2 hours. Here is an example of embedded finance in action. Sotago is an SME cash flow solution which provides invoice financing, risk insights, and credit control. But MMOB has enabled them to offer their solution to their partners as an embeddable snippet. We have taken the API documentation, put it through our universal API adapter, and pre-built the bespoke front end for their partners. Their partners can now deploy embedded cash flow solutions in just 2 hours with one junior developer. Now, distribution channels can easily embed cash flow solutions for their SME customers at a fraction of the time and cost. Some key things to note here. MMOB is not visible. It's all about connecting Sotago with their partners. This can be white labeled or co-branded for any service provider, allowing the journey to be customized for any of their partners. SME lending is only one example of our latest partnerships. MMOB's universal API adapter can also be applied to any API-based product. We have gained global traction across the UK, Southeast Asia, and North America, and are building solutions for ambitious startups and global enterprises like MasterCard. Thank you very much.
Love it. So timely. Judges, over to you.
Can you just elaborate on who the actual customer is? Who's paying MMOB, and how are they paying it?
So we have two different customer groups. So one is we have, you've got businesses that offer products and services that want to make their product embeddable directly into their partnership channels. So that's one different customer segment. That's called ecosystems. And then we have another customer segment which is called enterprises. So large banks that already have their existing partners that want to have embedded technology, they take the enterprise solution of our offering, and that allows them to create embedded partnerships directly with their existing partners. And they can also externalize their existing offerings into other partners.
So what's the remuneration model?
It's a license model, so for the enterprise solution, SaaS subscription for the ecosystems.
Thanks. So you'd mentioned you have customers now in various regions of the world. Can you give some sense of volume, either revenue or number of customers, or something that gives us something tangible?
We've got over about 180 different types of brands and services that are plugged in with embeddable-based products. We've got a number of different integrations across 6 verticals on ecosystems, and we've just launched enterprise technologies earlier this year. So that's with one of the largest financial institutions globally.
Okay, and you had talked about yourself in terms of an exit. How about the rest of your team in terms of what they add to the business?
So we're made up of a number of ex-financial services experts and executives, and we have a number of executives on our cap table as well from across telecoms and financial services.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Here we go. What's that noise? Sequoia is a London-based fintech that helps financial services providers automate key parts of their customer verification processes. Come on down, Alexis Rogg, their founder and CEO.
Hi everyone, it's great to be here. I'm Alex, I'm the founder and CEO of B2B fintech Sequoia. And what we do is we help financial services provider automate key part of their customer verification processes. And how we do is fairly simple, in just 3 simple steps. We, 1, aggregate customer data typically required at onboarding. 2, we structure it and generate automated insights. And 3, we feed back those insights into our client systems or into our own dashboard. And before I dive in, a few words about us. So we are regulated as both an open banking and credit reference provider because of the data we handle. Today, we serve clients ranging from fintechs to larger established players in more than 3 countries. We are backed by leading venture capital investors, and our team includes people with strong financial services and deep technical expertise. And so now I'm going to talk about a use case or a solution I'm very excited about because it really shows some breakthroughs that we can achieve in terms of automation today. And this is, in this case, AI-powered processing of customer application documents. So let's take mortgages as an example. Every single application still requires today the customer to submit documents, right? And those documents go typically in a review queue that lasts anywhere from hours to several days just to check completeness, and then typically requires some clarification and back and forth, right? And so, unsurprisingly, that process costs financial institutions several millions a year, but most importantly, leads to operational risk, but also inconsistent customer experience. And so that's where our data platform comes in. Simply ingest the customer data, in this case the documents, and we will automatically generate a number of insights, such as proof of income, proof of affordability, proof of address, and a more general check, such as risk indicators and application completeness. And so you have a little video here, and that right there is a 10 times improvement of current processes, reducing manual work from hours to just minutes, and also providing the ability for our customers to generate or to provide instant feedback to their own at application. And so we just, to give you an example, we're just engaging with one UK financial institution and estimating 4 million productivity savings alone. And that really is only the start of our ambition. We built a horizontal platform that is very modular, that handles different categories of data and thus can tackle several subcases in financial services. Thank you.
Thank you. Judges.
It would be great if you could walk through how you segmented your ideal customer today. Is it sort of fintechs to tier 2, financial institutions to tier 1s? Like, how do you see that sales cycle developing over time as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, as a startup, we started with fintechs because the sales cycle were obviously less long than larger institutions. So typically, our first pull we got in the market was around business onboarding verification because that requires a lot of different data sources. And now we're moving into consumer use cases, and the consumer use case that you see here is with much larger institutions in the UK.
I can do another quick one. And can you walk through the integration process then with some of these fintechs? So how long does it take once you've onboarded the customer?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's fairly easy. So we are API first, and the only thing we require is you to send us the data and the specific example I mentioned, and then we will just feed back the insights via API. So the way we structure it, it can be implemented really anywhere in the system, be it in front-end customer portals or in back-end decisioning engines.
Could you just give us a quick sense of revenue traction? How much revenue in the last 12 months?
Yeah, look, we're not disclosing it publicly, but to give you an idea, we're seed stage, we raised 8 million, and we're going towards Series A and the typical metrics required at that stage.
Okay, I mean, within just a rough sense of the split between fintechs and FIs in terms of revenue?
Yeah, so at the moment it's probably around, the majority is still fintechs, but we are about to announce a few financial institutions in the UK, so that split will change pretty quickly.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget your phone. Otherwise, I'll call your home. Okay, think of this like an elevator pitch in a very, very tall building. That's the way it works. Okay, we've got two more, and I want you to give your full attention. You're doing so well. I wish there was a prize for the audience. Valexa offers a B2B investing and trading technology solution that empowers companies to launch investment services. Please welcome their CEO, Tamara Kostova.
Hello, my name is Tamara. I'm the founder and the CEO of Alexa. Today, I want to invite you to imagine a world where everyone invests. Globally, $59 trillion are sitting in the hands of retail investors. Yet, only 10% of those investors are actively and effectively managing their finances through investing. This actually reveals a very stark gap. Desire, first of all, for financial well-being, but the second thing also is the fact that this is being hindered by two main factors. First one is the lack of financial education, and the second one is driven by the fact that there is not really financial access and inclusion. The OECD reports states that on an average, the financial well-being score globally is 42 out of 100. Which means that there is a significant financial management skills gap within adult population globally. So here we bring Valexa on the table with our wealth tech cutting-edge platform that supports any financial institution around the globe to easily embed investing services into their product offering. So while we are a B2B house, we are really responding to the demand of the end user for a very personalized, very unique user investing experience. How do we do that? What you can see is, first of all, we are mobile-only, mobile-first app, very much bundled with immense financial content and education, and personalized to the extreme through social trading features and other contexts. Further, the platform supports brandable front-end solutions for any financial institution to customize in order to keep their unique brand authenticity and also the products that they feel comfortable. So you can choose from a wealth of more than 2 million assets that are being supported on the platform. Thus, any investor, from a nascent investor to a very sophisticated trader, can manage their multi-asset, a multi-currency investing and cash accounts on the platform based on their preferences. We have adopted also a very unique approach to building an ecosystem of partners. So we do not only build software. We aim and strive to be the backbone of a very comprehensive investing ecosystem. So we connect with the best-of-breed wealth tech and fintech partners that are sitting here on the first row. We connect with custodians and brokers around the globe, market trading providers, in order to build that end-to-end digital and unique user journey for any single investor on the market. We have a diverse and very senior team that has been building mission-critical platforms around the globe, and we hope you can support our movement for inclusive investing around the globe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super passionate. Judges.
Thank you for that. It sounds like there's quite a wide gamut of potential customers, given that you can be incredibly rich in the assets that you're listing. Who is the ideal customer for this product?
Currently, we are focusing very much on financial institutions, and we resonate very well with neobanks that would like to expand their footprint, starting from cash account and investing accounts. What we actually see is a significant traction with digital brokerages or digital banks spinning off from the existing traditional players that are looking for a white label stack to launch the services.
And can I just push a little bit more on that? Are they UK or are they around the world? And what's the has there been traction on that?
That's a very good one. In year one, we have actually 13 active enterprise customers, and we are resonating very well now in emerging markets. So we are starting with LATAM, Southeast Asia, where you still have a very big portion of unbanked customers that are looking for access to similar services. Yes, thank you.
So your enterprise clients have presumably rolled this out now to their customers. How has the engagement been? Can you give us a sense of the engagement at the end user level?
On an end user level, I can give you a very good statistics. So interestingly, the end users of our customers could range from institutional client, high net worth individuals to mass retail and mass affluent. So what we see is that the launch of a very contextualized, personalized digital application increased over a period of 3 to 6 months, more than 25% of customer interaction. The idea is the idea is that every end user is feeling less intimidated by the platform once it brings a lot of customization and an understanding of their risk appetite as such.
And which of those end user groups had the highest engagement?
I didn't hear you, sorry for that.
Which of those end user groups had the highest engagement?
Mass affluent, by far. Mass affluent, especially in Europe and Southeast Asia. Thank you.
Tamara, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Last but not least, our final finalist, which makes it sound like she could be the first. And sorry, we have to compete with construction. This is London. Verifox offers a secure by default ecosystem for organizations to collaborate on data, but without the original data ever leaving its owner. Please welcome our final finalist, Roisin Meehan, the founder and CEO.
Hi, my name is Roisin and I'm the founder of Verifox. So today, it can be very difficult for banks to determine if one of their customers is laundering money. And that's because today, financial data sits in silos. It's difficult for banks to share data on suspicious customers or transactions. This is one of the problems that we can solve. So what Verifox does is we provide an ecosystem where questions can be asked of financial data sets without any of the data, the raw data, getting exposed in the process. We do this by using multiple privacy-enhancing technologies. So first, we provide advanced data security through a trusted execution environment. The next step is we use our proprietary zero-knowledge system to de-identify and anonymize data before using multi-party computation to securely query the data without it ever leaving the environment. So for example, two banks could interrogate each other's data sets on a suspicious customer in real time. You don't need to just take my word for it. So last year, the ICO released new guidance that says, if you are an organization sharing data such as financial data with another organization, you should be using at least one privacy-enhancing technology from a list that they define. Verifox uses not just one, but 3 of the technologies on this list. These privacy technologies unlock data utility and privacy at the same time, which is why they're better than current solutions in the market and why the ICO are endorsing them. In terms of traction, we've won over £1 million in DSBD funding, Digital Security by Design. This means we've been working with ARM to make the UK's digital computing infrastructure more secure. We've also had a proposal classified as fundable by the MOD, and we've just been accepted onto the FCA's digital sandbox. So this means we can further develop our solution using the FCA's insights, their feedback, and their data sets as well. My background is the management of multi-million-dollar brands, and my CTO, Bala, he's ex-banking, and he's worked in R&D on various different cryptographic protocols and proof of concepts as well. And together we lead a team of 7. So to wrap up, I think there's a big pressure on firms these days to really keep up with the level of sophistication that criminals are using in the process of money laundering. Back in February, the FCA said that they strongly encourage that firms explore the latest data sharing technologies to help prevent money laundering and to improve collaboration. There's a really easy win here to get involved with what we're doing at the moment. We still have time to fit in 1 or 2 use cases. So if you've got an issue with data sharing, please come and chat to me. Thank you very much.
Judges, your last chance.
Can you just explain in sort of lay terms what would happen in that discussion between the two institutions. Let's say that they wanted to understand whether one of the customers was on a sanctions list. How would they do that without knowing who the customers are?
So I guess it's part of the setup process. So we can take data in a number of different formats. It goes through, I guess, a series of anonymization processes. Encryption can be broken, so we go a step further than that. And it's at that stage we, I guess, get the insight from the client as to what questions are they comfortable with their partners asking their data. Answers can be formatted as well, so maybe a bank is only comfortable saying yes or no, or actually maybe they're okay with giving a little bit more detail. It can be customized. And then, like I said, we use multi-party computation to send the information around, and then the answers get served back as zero-knowledge proofs. So I guess in layman's terms, it's words, but we can lift the hood and show how that works in the back end as well.
And then just on traction, I understand that you guys are very early, but
yes.
Have you started to engage with large financial institutions, and what's the feedback been?
So I guess we're using this opportunity with the FCA to do that. So I think once we've got something live in the test bed, we can use it as a showcase because we can work with the FCA's data. I've been using this event, to be honest, as a bit of a springboard. The feedback has been good. I think the fact that last year a lot of the regulators were talking about privacy-enhancing technologies, not just the regulators, but the government as well. The White House mentioned them in their executive order on AI, so it's moving in the right direction. But overall adoption of privacy-enhancing technologies, high in the world of blockchain, still needs to become mainstream.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Roisin. So 10 years ago, when IFGS started, can you even imagine that we would be talking about these technologies today and the type of banking that we and our children and people across the globe will be engaged in? Think 10 years ahead. And while you're doing that, we're going to, first of all, thank all the finalists, okay? And again, I want to thank the audience for giving them your full attention. It was an absolute pleasure not to hear a single phone. I really appreciate it personally, but I think every single one of the finalists also appreciated it. So thank you, and thank you for sharing all of your insights into your incredible businesses. We wish you all luck. So now the judges are going to go and deliberate, and while they do that, we're going to have a panel of experts come and talk about the future of venture capital. So it's good that the finalists should stay for this. Anybody else? I hope you do stay, because after that, we're going to have, oh, hold on one second. We also are going to have the QR code. Here we are. The QR code. This is your opportunity. Make your voice heard. Everybody vote. You've heard the pitches, you've paid attention, your phone was off, and now it's your chance. Every single one of these companies has just been so inspiring to listen to, some of them very close to my heart, and professionally and personally. And now's your chance. Please do it for them, for you, for our children, for the future, for the world. And I'd like to right now also invite Sean Atkinson, who is partner at Oric, as the session moderator on the next panel.